my name is Alyssa and thank you so much for visiting my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you 4 delicious 20-minute meals. So if you're anything like me, I'm sure there's days where you just don't feel like cooking, especially on those busy weeknights. You've been running around with the kids all day, or you've been at work, or both. You just want to put a delicious meal out on the dinner table for you and your family that doesn't require a lot of prep time, a lot of cook time, and then of course a lot of cleanup time. So not only are these meals super quick to make, they offer very little prep time, which means minimal amount of cleanup time. What's better than that? And they're some of my favorite go-to meals to make during those busy weeknights where you just don't want to cook. So with all that said, let's go get cooking. To start, I'm going to be sharing this delicious ground beef stroganoff recipe. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a pot of water filled up, and then I'm going to add in some salt, and I'm going to get this on the stove over high heat to start getting it boiling for my egg noodles. And then I'm going to dice up half of an onion. Next, I'm going to brown my ground beef. I'm going to cook this in my skillet over medium to high heat until it's no longer pink. As my meat's cooking, I'm going to get my egg noodles into the boiling water and cook those for about 8 to 10 minutes. Next, I'm going to season my meat. I did about 2 teaspoons of Kinder seasoning, and then I did 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I also did 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper, and then I threw in my diced onion. After I got my onion in, I threw in about 1.5 cups of sliced mushrooms, and then I did about 2 tablespoons or so of fresh garlic. So after the onion and the mushroom cooked for about 3 to 5 minutes, I added in about 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, as well as 1 can of cream of mushroom soup and about 2 tablespoons or so of heavy cream. Next, I added in about half of a can of beef broth. And lastly, I added in about 1/2 cup of sour cream. So the last thing I needed to do was just pour in my egg noodles, and I served this alongside some steamed broccoli. This dinner came together so quickly, it was super easy to make, and it was really, really good. Everybody wanted seconds. So the next quick and easy dinner I'm going to be sharing is one of my favorites, and it's chicken Parmesan sliders. So the first thing I did was set my oven to preheat at 375. And then I took a 12-count pack of dinner rolls. I went with the potato rolls. You could also do the Hawaiian sweet rolls if you like those instead. I sliced the rolls in half lengthwise, and then I put the bottom portion in a baking dish that was about 9 by 13. And then I topped that with about 3 cups or so of rotisserie chicken. I just purchased the rotisserie chicken from my local grocery store and shredded that on my own because it was super quick doing it this way. And then I took 1/2 cup of marinara sauce and I spread that evenly on top of the chicken, followed by about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and about 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And then I sprinkled about 4 or so ounces of mozzarella cheese. You can do anywhere from 4 to 8 ounces. It just depends on how cheesy you want these sliders to be. Then I took the other half of the rolls and I placed those on top. And then I took 1/2 cup of melted salted butter and I added in about 2 tablespoons of fresh garlic, as well as 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And then I added in about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I mixed that all up really well, and then I brushed that on top of the rolls. then I got these in the oven to bake for about 12 minutes. So I served these alongside some salad as well as some extra marinara sauce for dipping. So not only are these sliders super simple to make, they're pretty filling and so flavorful. My family always loves this dinner. The next 20-minute meal I'm going to be sharing is this super good and addicting scallion chicken and rice dinner. So the first thing I did was take about 3 chicken breasts and I cut those up to bite-sized pieces. I added the chicken to a bowl, and to the bowl I added about 2.5 tablespoons of low-sodium soy sauce, also 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, as well as 2 tablespoons of honey, about 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and about 2 teaspoons or so of pepper, and I mixed that up really well. Next, I got my green onion ready to go. I just chopped up about 4 stalks of green onions, and then I just separated the whites from the greens into 2 separate bowls. So now I'm ready to cook my chicken. I'm just going to heat up a little bit of oil in a medium-sized skillet over medium to high heat. I'm going to add my chicken in, and I'm going to let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. Then I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of garlic and about 2 tablespoons of some cooking wine. And then I'm going to put in the whites of my green onion, and I'm going to put the lid on and let that cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once that all cooks down, the next thing I'm going to do is just add in the rest of my green onion. I'm going to give it a good mix, and then I'm going to put my lid on and let that cook for about 2 or so minutes on high heat. And that's it. It's ready to serve. It's that easy. I just served this alongside some white rice as well as some steamed green beans. My entire family gobbled up this meal. Even my kids were asking for more. There was nothing left to save in the fridge for leftovers, and I liked to top mine with some sriracha. It's one of my favorite hot sauces. It just turned out so good. So the last 20-minute meal I have to share is this creamy beef and shells recipe. So the first thing I made sure to do was get my pot of water on the stove so I can cook my pasta. I just added in a little bit of salt and I got that on medium to high heat. Next, I just diced up half of an onion. And then I just heated up some olive oil in a large skillet over medium to high heat. I added in about 1 pound of ground beef and I got that cooking. I cooked it for about 3 to 5 minutes until it was crumbled up and brown. And then once my water was boiling, I just added in my pasta. Next, I just added in all of my seasoning to my ground meat. Once it was done cooking, I just put in about 2 teaspoons of Kinder seasoning, about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, about 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, as well as 1 to 2 teaspoons of some pepper. And then I added in my diced onion as well as 1 to 2 tablespoons of some minced garlic and about 1 tablespoon of some tomato paste. And then I just cooked that for about 2 to 3 minutes just until the onion became somewhat translucent. Next, I just added in 124-ounce jar of tomato sauce. You can go with whatever kind you like here. I also put in about 1/4 cup of cream cheese, 3/4 cup of heavy cream, as well as about 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, and then I just mixed that up really well. And then I just cooked this for about 4 to 5 minutes until the sauce came to a boil, and then I just added in my pasta and it was ready to serve. I just served this alongside some steamed broccoli just to complete the meal, and I topped it with some Parmesan cheese. This meal is always so simple to make and so delicious. It's always a hit with my family. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.